Hi, I wanted to provide some context to this video. I'm a former agent of the Fool's Church, and today I'm alleging that the religion is actually a cult. It gets by misleading people using their circumstances and naivety, and the miracles are just coincidences mixed with deceptive words, which I would consider fraud, okay? Thank you and enjoy the video. So this is my first part into the investigation about Mr. Fool and his tarot club. I made this video before the allegations from Adam came out. Like, I was probably gonna come out about them in part 2 or 3, but people also said, like, why didn't you come forward, or why didn't you go to the authorities? Like, that was so simple. I mean, I was gonna do that, but tell who? His brainwashed followers or his associates at the Church of Evernight? Not to mention the security risk that might come from provoking his sugar mommy. We all know what happened to the last guy who messed with her. You know, this information was known to all Tarot Club members, including the star Leonard. And that's like a bigger red flag than anything I might say in this video. There's also like a big emphasis in there to keep things anonymous and private, while also slowly promoting themselves to more and more people. So just keep that in mind before you hear anything their brainwashed musclehead Alger has to say, because I know he's gonna make like a defense video and go full damage control mode after this. First of all, let us talk about Mr. Fool's secret organization, also known as the Tarot Club. As the old saying goes, a leader is basically the loudest echo of his people. So let us take a look at the supposed saviors of humanity and their quote-unquote noble actions. The founding members of the Tarot Club were Alger Vinson and Audrey Hall. Let us first take a look at our dear musclehead Alger, codenamed the Hanged Man. Keep in mind this is someone who was basically considered the Fool's Church apologist and a well-respected senior member of the Tarot Club. First of all, Alger is a misogynist. He's been acting discriminatory towards women in the Tarot Club ever since he joined, treating them poorly while treating his quote-unquote fellow irascible bros and quote like they were brothers from different mothers. Keep in mind, Mr. Alger has a very senior rank in the Tarot Club, and he has also been rumored to meet up with women and extort them using that very same senior position. All the while, Mr. Fool knew about all of this due to his supposed omniscience. A big rumor has recently resurfaced in the inner circles that the hermit Cattleya, a relatively newer member of the Tarot Club at the time, met up with Alger alongside his best buddy German Sparrow in real life. So you can only imagine what went down behind closed doors. And don't even get me started on this man German Sparrow. The list of his crime is so extensive that I'm planning to make an entirely separate video about him in the future. And do note that my suspicions about him extorting women are not completely based on rumors alone, as I myself have confronted one of his ship members to confirm that the Blue Avenger, which is his ship, often took breaks in between travels, visiting a certain color themed area to quote unquote blow some steam off, including Alger, who by the testimony of his underlings is into younger, specially submissive and pure women. Also, this is the same Messiah from the Tarot Club who was childhood friend with Coalingos, a former pirate admiral, the same one who was literally a serial killer and whose kill count surpasses at least 4,000 since he needed to feed a human per day to his creeping hunger to not be eaten alive for decades. And let's not even mention the amount of crimes he must have committed, including heinous ones, to get to the position of pirate admiral. All the while Alger was right beside him. Remember Alger being into younger women? Well, not only this man has allegedly extorted his own accomplices and desperate women, but is also involved in grooming an entire squad of younglings into power, out of his own voluntary choice, might I add. Take that and him being on the record for selling drugs to minors, and make of that as you will. I feel like mentioning the other stuff like his weird dynamic relationship with the sun, and all of that is just gonna take too much time, more time than this misogynist piece of shit deserves. So let's move on to the second founding member of the Tarot Club, Miss Justice Audrey Hall. Audrey Hall, a seemingly innocent, noble and kind-hearted woman who was born as a blessing into the Earl Hall family. Right? Right? Wrong. All of that is just a facade she uses to maintain her reputation, while in fact behind the scenes, she uses her seemingly good nature as a weapon. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, that must be a stretch, she's a good person and you're just hating on her and all. But I think you will change your mind very quickly when you know that she in fact used her good-natured appearance to let the nobles around her keep their guard down and then abuse her beyond her powers from the spectator pathway to leave mental imprints and fuel the war between nations. And just in case you thought that was not bad enough, she literally initiated a civil war in the Lion Kingdom and instigated people to go after her own parents. Someone who makes people revolt against their own family is, in my opinion, a borderline sociopath. Not so good-natured now, huh? Willing to sell out her own kin just to push her own agenda and see chaos. And talking about sociopaths, do you know what else sociopaths do? abuse animals. That's right. If all of that wasn't enough to convince you that she's a sociopath, Audrey Hall abuses animals as well. In fact, her own pet dog Susie only survived for so long because she was the lucky one. This might sound fucked up, but that's just because it is. Yes, her golden retriever Susie is actually a Beyonder pet. She is also from the spectator pathway, and Miss Justice has no plans on sparing the poor dog's life anytime soon. I mean, why would she? After all, the higher sequence Susie is, the more chances Audrey Hall has to advance faster by making her cast +8 on her. And if using your pet as a literal tool and risking its life at every moment isn't cruel enough to make your guts wrench, consider this. Statistics from the Beast Tamers, a sequence specifically designed for Beyonder companions, show that only 1 in 48 dogs are able to become Beyonders without losing control, and only 1 in 543 are able to advance to sequence 6 or higher. And keep in mind, this is from the Beast Tamers, who have special abilities just for such a task, unlike Audrey Hall, who's just a spectator. Now just think about how many tries exactly it must have taken her to get to the lucky Susie. It's a horrifying thought. I don't even want to make a guess here, but you know the statistics, come to your own conclusions. And don't worry, her abusing animals is not just limited to her own pets. In fact, my brother was one of her victims too. I have live proof of her trespassing on my brother's garden with German Sparrow and killing his bunny. I would laugh at how ridiculous this was if my brother was not heartbroken and traumatized from the encounter. Anyways, now that you know about the reality about how the founding members are, the elites of the elite, I truly hope that you can understand the horrible, borderline psychopathic work culture at the Fool's Church. But it doesn't just end there. Oh no. This is only the beginning of my expose videos on Mr. Fool and his religion. Honestly speaking, I still have some NDAs and lines I'm just unwilling to cross due to not having enough support backing me up. If you made it this far into the video, do consider subscribing and sharing the video, becoming my anchors, so I can truly go up against him and share the real deal without the fear of a sugar mommy smiting me down any minute now.